From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
A new climate board in the city of Bozeman is looking to tackle some of the issues that are coming along with climate change. I'll have more coming up.
I'm Joe St. George in Baltimore. Coming up, we'll tell you about the highway to nowhere and how taxpayer dollars are set to fix wrongs that divided black communities decades ago.
Well, happy Thursday, Southwest Montana, 6:30. Chet Lehman, Matt Elba with you there. That's Community Hospital, Vancon as I can. Peeking into the mining city, not a bad start there.
No, it's a little chilly.
If you like teens, it's not bad.
Why not? These temperatures trying to warm up or for the weekend, but right now we're just settled right into near average temperatures.
Holding that snowpack.
Yeah, we're trying.
Yeah.
Everything, every flake we're trying to hold on to at this point. Temperatures this morning into the teens, bundle up on the way out the door. I don't expect to see big issues for driving concerns across the area. Watch the elevated surfaces, watch passes and the canyons. There may still be some ice on the ground this morning, but our overall trend is pretty dry on most of the area roadways in southwest Montana. Our daytime temperatures back near the 30-degree mark. That is below average by a couple of degrees. At this point, we'll take it. It is going to be a warmer weekend, but we're setting up for a more active pattern. I'm going to break it all down for you coming up in just a little bit.
All right, thank you, Matt. 6:31 now. Results are in from one of two fatal grizzly attacks in Montana this past season, but a review board still looking into an attack that killed a biker camping in Ovando. Leah Davis Loken killed while sleeping in her tent at an Ovando campground on July 6th. That bear was euthanized after several days of searching. Interagency Grizzly Bear Committee was told yesterday a review board still analyzing details of that attack. But investigators determined the unusual spring attack that killed a 40-year-old Charles Mock at a campground outside West Yellowstone happened when he ran across a grizzly feeding on a moose carcass. Hillary Cooley of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service told her colleagues the mid-April attack happened between the highway and the Madison River. Mock died shortly after the mauling. Investigators say they believe the bear's aggressiveness caused by the proximity of the kill.
Why was the bear so agitated? It was there for 3 days, very agitated, and we don't know, but we hypothesize that, maybe the bear had defended or claimed the moose carcass from another bear, and that might have contributed to the extended aggressive defense of the moose carcass.
Now, Cooley says the accident again shows the need for safety precautions, even close to town. Now, while bear spray helped curtail this attack, carcasses can present a real hazard in grizzly country. Well, a newly finished mural along Kalispell's shared-use trail system recently vandalized with targeted hate speech, including anti-Semitic and homophobic messages. The mural is part of a Tunnel Vision. It's a Flathead nonprofit aimed at beautifying pedestrian underpasses in Kalispell through colorful artwork. It's a 4,000 square foot mural recently finished by Bozeman artist Griffin Foster with the help of some 120 volunteers. The vandalism was cleaned up, but just days later, the mural vandalized once again. That mural depicts ferns in Glacier National Park. Building roads and bridges in this country oftentimes comes at a cost to neighborhoods. One study estimates over 1 million Americans were displaced when the national interstate system was built decades ago. But a new government program taking effect soon that's meant to address those wrongs. Our Joe St. George with a closer look at what that looks like and whether there's enough money to fix the issue.
There were all good memories here until it was broken up.
For Minister Glenn Smith, coming here is still sad. There were houses all over here?
Yes, there were houses.
You are looking at what is known by many as the Highway to Nowhere in West Baltimore. The 1.5-mile stretch of road was planned and constructed in the 1960s and 70s with the goal of connecting Interstate 70 with I-95. But this part of the project was the only one that was actually completed. The two interstates were never linked, and the overall project was shut down. Smith says his historically black community was the only one in town that paid the price. His family had to move.
It removed over 570 homeowners out of this community. We have not recovered, and I often refer to it as taking the heart out of a body.
Since then, elected officials and engineers have pointed to this project, as well as others, as being an example of systemic racism that existed decades ago when it came to planning infrastructure projects. Often, black communities suffered the most when new roads were built.
All around the country, they did the same thing in cities all around the country.
This year, the White House and Congress signed the bipartisan infrastructure bill into law, and it acknowledged past errors. The law includes $1 billion for the Reconnecting Communities pilot program. The money will be used to invest in areas hurt the most. Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg recently described where the money will go. In some cases, roads or bridges may go away. In others, perhaps new bus stops.
We don't want to impose a one-size-fits-all answer. We have to listen to the community.
Minister Smith acknowledges $1 billion probably isn't enough to take down this stretch of road and rebuild homes, but he would like some money used to improve transportation here, or perhaps create jobs.
We really want to see something that's going to benefit the community.
In Baltimore, I'm Joe St. George.
Back here at home now, after years of community input, the city of Bozeman created a climate action plan back in 2020. The city is moving forward with it this year. MTN's Edgar Cedillo shows us city officials beginning to check off the tasks in that plan.
Last year, the city of Bozeman enacted a climate change plan hoping to address some of the issues that come with climate change and how they're affecting the city. Now this year, they're looking at creating a new advisory board to help implement some of those focus areas in that climate plan.
We're excited to welcome a brand new Sustainability Advisory Board.
The goal of this new advisory board is to look at how climate change solutions can be tailored to fit Bozeman. The new board is still in its beginning stages of how it can implement the climate change plan.
So it really became a process of identifying where we are as a community and figuring out how we can move forward as quickly as possible.
The plan has 6 areas of focus ranging from neighborhood, transportation, parks, and even including some development.
The commission will be looking for initiatives that can be amplified and really just jump-started through a community advisory board.
With the 6 areas, it's where the community will see a mix of the climate plan take shape, from a commute to work, a walk in the neighborhood, or even playing at the park.
So it's interesting to think about what climate change implementation looks like, because it intersects with so many areas of our lives and it's often subtle.
Mayor points out while some areas of the climate plan may be very obvious, like planting trees, some areas like changing city codes may not be as noticeable.
I can't guarantee that it's ever going to be something incredibly obvious to every individual in town.
All while still noting the role the community plays.
This is a problem of today, not of tomorrow. So I think we are sensing that urgency from the public.
If you are interested in watching the meetings, they will be held every second Wednesday of each month. In downtown Bozeman, Edgar Cedillo, MTN News.
All right, thank you very much, Edgar. 6:37, we're time for another break here on Montana This Morning.